The Eastern Conference has long been considered weaker than the West, but say one thing for the East, there is parity here. When this season began, 3 teams had legitimate shots at first place: the Hamilton Ticats, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and Toronto Argos. And really, to this point, only the Ticats have lived up to expectations. In fact, until today, exceeded them. Standings show the Ticats to have completed a strong first half of the season, and the Grey Cup champion Bombers are just on the right side of 500 at 5-4. And the story in Winnipeg, where we start our mid-season reports on Eastern teams, has been a struggling offense that is now rounding into winning form.
It is generally agreed quarterback Sean Salisbury sparked the Bombers to a Grey Cup appearance last year. But for much of the first half of this season, he couldn't move the team. With the Bombers languishing at and under the 500 mark, Salisbury took the heat.
It really doesn't concern me simply because I feel like I'm doing what I have to do to help us win.
So Salisbury took the heat, and 2 weeks ago did more than enough for the Bombers to beat Toronto. And last week he was sharp again against Saskatchewan in a Labor Day victory. In both games, passes that were dropped earlier in the season were caught, and Salisbury himself got rid of the ball quicker in a crisper, sharper offense. Winning cures all, and Sean Salisbury has improved his first semester grade from C to A in 2 weeks. Worth mentioning has been the brilliance of linebacker Greg Battle. His ferocious play has allowed the offense more time on the field. Battle has been an A+ student all season. And now with a look at the Argos, here's Ken Daniels.
Thank you, Scott. And while the Argos have this beautiful new playpen, the crowds at Skydome haven't reached expectations, in large part because the entertainment value is basically near zero. When the Argos win, they do so with a staunch defense, but they've managed that only 4 times in 9 tries this season. As for the offense, well, that's the problem. It's predictable to the point of boredom.
To quote the coach, Obilovich, "I'd rather play crappy and win and be criticized for my offense." But the bottom line is, the wins for the Argos are rare this season. Now, in fairness to the coach, his receivers have let him down. On many occasions, drives have been halted by drop passes or just by mental miscues. And when there are completions, occasionally it's by accident. The options in the Argo offense are limited. It's a drop-back style where the quarterback becomes a sitting duck. If the primary receiver isn't open and the line isn't doing a phenomenal job, the quarterback is in trouble. Yes, defense wins games, but that's just not entertaining enough for Argo fans. The offense has to consist of more than just an occasional thrill. Now to Ottawa, and here's Vic Hultquist.
Ken, so far this season, it's been a roller coaster ride for the Riders. They've been inconsistent, and they've yet to win a game. But there was a lot of optimism back in July. With veteran quarterback Damon Allen plucked from the Edmonton Eskimos, the Riders started the season looking respectable. But Allen's experience alone couldn't offset the inexperience at some of the other positions. And rookie head coach Steve Goldman's rebuilding program hit rock bottom. On top of that, the team almost folded.
We are in a cash flow crunch. We cannot operate beyond the middle of August.
General Manager Joanne Polak got the money she needed from local governments. There would be a payday. Now what they need is a victory. They were much closer in their last 2 games, but it's going to take a win to get them off the roller coaster and keep the Ottawa fans behind them. Now back to Ken Daniels for a report on the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Thank you, Vic. It's the offense that has been grabbing the headlines in Hamilton this season, and that's a surprise, even to the boss, Al Bruno, who takes pride in a tough defensive game. But the Tabbies have given up an average 29 points per contest, 3rd worst in the league, and that has to improve. But offensively, while Hamilton is 3rd best, a big reason, the great play of quarterback Mike Kerrigan. When he's on, he's the most proficient passer in the game. Kerrigan, of course, has the luxury of hitting superb targets. The return of Earl Winfield is an obvious plus. Tony Champion, often injured, has played more this season and always makes his presence felt.
By far the most evident change for the Tiger Cats this season has been their fresh marketing approach under new owner David Braley. Now, despite the team sputtering somewhat of late, the enthusiasm is still there on the field and in the stands. And yes, as they like to say here in Hamilton, it is feeding time. But the second half will tell whether the football served up by this club can still satisfy the fans' appetite. Now back to Scott O.
All right, thank you, Ken. And here are the Ticats today at Lansdowne Park with a chance to strengthen their hold on first place in the East and improve their record to 7-3. And 7-3 would look good to kick off the second half of the schedule. Would look good. Emphasis on would, because the Rough Riders clearly have picked at least the first half of today's game to break out of their season-long slump, and at the half, they lead Hamilton 27-13. Stay with us. When Inside the CFL returns, we'll be joined live by one of Canada's premier amateur athletes, and next, we'll get some first half analysis from Ron and Don.